All right, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're going to talk about Tyson Fury either lying or being ridiculously reckless with his COVID diagnosis, because he's out in public being seen just acting like ain't nothing happened. And guess what? The boxing media, who has access to these pictures, aren't saying anything. What a surprise. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, before we get into the meat of this video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, share the video, like the video. It really goes a long way to growing the channel, and it would be much appreciated. Let's talk about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder and this absolute debacle that is called a trilogy. Now, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury recently were in court for months and months and months trying to get Tyson Fury to get back in the ring and fight the fight that his contract called for him to fight, right? Did this after, in the second fight in the trilogy, Tyson Fury showed that he was one of the bigger scumbags that not only that has ever walked in a boxing ring, but probably could ever walk in a boxing ring, because of just the ridiculous manner in which he cheated Deontay Wilder. So Deontay Wilder loses the fight after having been cheated in a way that puts your whole life at risk, right? I'm not talking about cheating in some little way that doesn't, this is not cheating like in golf, where you may roll the ball back a couple inches, right? And then that may give you a better shot at the ball and then save you shots. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the type of cheating that can wind up putting people in caskets. That type of cheating is what Tyson Fury did. Not gonna say is accused of doing, did. And you still never heard anything about it in a questioning fashion from the boxing media. The only time you hear about it is when they just want to brush off somebody and mention it as something that was just some crazy, wacky thing, right? So anyway, he goes to court. He tries to pull out of the third fight. Deontay Wilder has to take him to court, takes him to court, wins in court, and then the fight is supposed to be set. So what does cheating Tyson Fury do? Tyson Fury tries to find another way to pull out of the fight. The way that he says he's going to pull out the fight this time, it is COVID-19. Now, first of all, there's a whole lot of people that have died because of that virus. And that virus is very, very sick. It's shut down people's lives. People lost their jobs. People are in a hard way because of that virus. It's a very, very serious thing. So if you were to play with that and say that you have it when you didn't, just so that you can curry favor and try to get out of some obligation that you have, that is scumbaggery, okay? So let's talk about what Tyson Fury just got caught doing. Tyson Fury, on several pictures. First, Tyson Fury, according to Bob Arum, before the fight training camp started, had been vaccinated for COVID. Vaccinated for COVID. He now changes his story and says, oh, Tyson Fury was only half vaccinated. And he was afraid of the effects of being vaccinated for COVID would have on the fight. What? You're afraid of being nauseous for like 5 minutes? So what? But anyway, so according to Bob Arum, he only took one of his vaccines. He didn't take 2 of his vaccines. He catches COVID, right? Now, only problem with this is number one, Tyson Fury's lying. But now we know that he's lying because several people and I've already done a video about this, that several fighters like Jared Anderson and specifically Joseph Parker says that he had heard in the news that he had contracted COVID. Nobody had asked him if he had contracted COVID. He had just heard in the news that he had contracted COVID, and he never contracted any COVID. Jared Anderson is out and about moving around. So the question was, who in Tyson Fury's camp has actually caught COVID, right? So then yesterday, you wind up seeing pictures of Tyson Fury at a car dealership where he looks like he's looking for a new exotic car. And then another picture where he's standing right next to somebody, no mask on, in what looks to be a casino. So what is it with Tyson Fury? In this instance, Tyson Fury is either a liar or he is absolutely reckless with people's lives, two, or both. And I argue it is absolutely, positively both of them. And the only other people and somebody else that needs to be pulled into this is the media. The media's job is to give people information that they need to know that they would not otherwise have access to. That's the job of the media. How is it that boxing YouTube channels and Twitter pages with no YouTube channels, who do not do boxing publications, can find this information out, put it on Twitter? You can have thousands of impressions or views on it, but yet the mainstream boxing media doesn't say a word about it. And that, my friends, is what you call ridiculously irresponsible, okay? First, Tyson Fury is somebody that cheats so badly that he literally, according to Deontay Wilder, put a dent in the man's skull because he was hitting him with bare knuckles. He's 6'9", 300 pounds, and hitting Deontay Wilder with a glove that has almost no padding on it whatsoever. And also, according to Deontay Wilder, his water was poisoned. And I don't put anything past Tyson Fury because of this right here. Now, is Tyson Fury lying about COVID, right? The dude lies like a rug. The guy said that he was going to give this shameful lies too. Shameful lies. The type of lies that you don't want that you do not want on your shoulder. Those type of lies. The ones where you lie about there being a bunch of victims or a bunch of people that suffer from mental illness, and you're going to give your entire purse to the people that are the victims of mental illness, right? Do you do it? Absolutely not. Do you use those people's suffering and those people's path to garner sympathy for yourself? Yes. That is basically, in essence, stealing from people that have mental illness. It's ridiculous. Then to say that you have COVID and I'm telling you, gotta be lying about it because first of all, because you got vaccinated, but now you got some super rare form that is going to get you when you're in a bubble and you've already been vaccinated, and then you have the media lie about how it's rampant throughout your camp. And camp members, not a single camp member is out here talking about they've had COVID yet. But then worse than that, if you are telling the truth, then you're lying to the people that you're walking around shaking hands with at car dealerships and in casinos. That is just reckless endangerment. That's reckless endangerment of people's lives, man. Just if you have COVID and you're just running around, I know I've got COVID, but I don't care. Ha ha. I'll just cough in the man's face, shake his hands, drink stuff, put it on, whatever. However the multiple ways that you can get it, you're just out there free-willing around. Man, Tyson Fury is, in my opinion, that dude is just an all-around scumbag, needs to be removed from the sport of boxing, just a complete liar and a recklessly irresponsible individual. Both of them. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.